Mortal Kombat once again is feeding us with amazing stuff. Their new combat cast was a little bit shorter, but it still gave us in depth as to the characters we just recently saw, including Rain. So we saw Sindel, Motaro. They didn't involve Shujinko, and then we also see General Xiao. So what happens with all of this going down? They're breaking down the characters, they're showing us everything from combos and fatal blows. What and my personal favorite that I was actually smiling the most about, Sindel was super fresh to see. It's just good to see her like that. It looks like they really put some time into her this time around. She looks interesting. She looks like something that even MK pros would want to delve into in terms of trying to main her. I did like the most, in my opinion, I liked Rain. Rain just looks so cool. Now, he's not really my style. I like rushers and punishers, but they did say in the combat cast, if you're looking to meshing a little bit, pressing a lot of buttons, that Rain is going to be a great call to you. Rain has some cool, we'll start out with Sindel, right? Sindel has all these amazing movesets, and it's always good to get the classic screen back. It's always good to just have everything that we do acknowledged from MK3. They did show some cameos also, such as Striker, Motaro. Sindel does look, she looks fast. I know Sindel looks almost on par as like a Lee May fast right now, and her air combat is insane. I hope that Kitana does get a buff that she does need in order to fight, because it was just incredible just watching Kitana wreck it during the stress test. So hopefully they can really get her up to par with these ladies. It seems like the Lee May and Sindel kind of have a very similar attribute into how they play. Lee May is so versatile, up and down, lows and mids and combos and air combat, and that's the way Sindel looks right now, especially having like a low fireball also. So that was Sindel, and obviously she has all of her classic hair whips, and it doesn't show us like that. They didn't show us like that final form, I believe, unless it's only during Fatality, of where she has like all of her hair opened out, kind of like how we saw the trailer. But it was still cool to see her. She looks great, very like healthy, very just amazing. Just a great way to introduce a queen, and I felt that was pretty cool. Next, they went with Rain. And with Rain, he looks so fun. Now, he doesn't look very fast, but he looks very tactical. So to me, he kind of looks like the water version of Sub-Zero, which is Sub-Zero's ice. So I don't know how you want to roast me with that take, but Rain he looks very tactical, mix-ups and just add-ons that you feel that you would want in a character and how it makes him unique. Now, we are all used to him as a ninja, but Rain not really being a ninja this time around, it's pretty cool still. He kind of looks more like in between kind of like how they would make a General Xiao or like a Brawl and Brute type character, because like you can see his stance. His stance is very confident, not like ninja-like at this point. And excuse me, and why the hell is everybody beating up Liu Kang in this? But yeah, like Rain looks very good, and he has a delivery that I feel that is amazing. Like what I said, far more in a tactical sense, more than what we used to see him as ninja, while utilizing that Taekwondo sense, utilizing a lot of legs and kicks. So it's just cool to see Rain revamped. And one thing that they really touch on this combat cast also is that they say that they were focusing on just kind of giving a lot of people a lot of fresh overhauls, a lot of intakes to just really help bring classics, but really just give us something new too, so that it's not always constantly over the last how many years that Mortal Kombat has been around. Come on, now it's the 90s, and it's hard to do that, and Mortal Kombat is really capitalizing on that. So kudos to them for changing up some Rain gameplay, calling instead of Shao Kahn, of course, bringing them a whole depth, General Xiao, making Raiden young again. They just do all this cool stuff, and Mortal Kombat is just constantly like prolonging everything. That just makes it such a fun time. The fact that you could tell they are really putting a lot of heart and soul into this MK1, and you could tell they're putting a lot of creativity and dynamics into each character personally. And it's always cool when you have people that really dive into each component of a character, so that it's just not just some lazy attribution to just give us the actual face or to be just a full-on sales perk. So Rain just does go hard. He looks amazing, and there's just so many cool things he has, from shields and transports and teleports and bubbles and just doing all these things. He works well with cameos, and so that's Rain for that. Last but not least, we see General Xiao. And General Xiao I thought was really fun. Now, it's just good to see him again fighting and doing some fun stuff, because I mean, it's General Xiao, man. We all love to see him. If you're somebody like me, he was like the Don, you know, he was the guy that he whooped our asses in MK3 every time, and he was just always our boss, man. We always heard his voice. And so to see him kind of not, obviously not downgraded because it's just a refresh reboot, to just see him as a general now, it gets really interesting. And his combos now are not just like this big buffoon type dude. He's actually hitting combos and strings and add-ons and pop-ups and air attacks and working well with cameos. So that's a really huge shocker, and that's a huge W for Mortal Kombat doing that with General Xiao. And just to see him, like what I said, I know a lot of people don't like the way he actually has instilled horns instead of just on his actual mask. But I think that was pretty fresh, so in itself, seeing General Xiao do that. Now I'm really interested in this part because Reiko is going to be in the game, and Reiko is known as a general also. So that's going to be pretty intriguing. That might be something fun with a timeline, right? Like kind of how like Raiden's young again, you know? So maybe there's some type of timeline that's going to make like General Reiko and General Xiao like do stuff or be side by side instead of them like kind of just being one leadership over another. Because I know there was a lot of Reiko nods at the whole General Xiao situation back in the day when he was Shao Kahn, like a wannabe, or people got it flustered and mixed up between all that and the actual lore. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But Shao Kahn actually looked, General Xiao, see, I'm already messing this shit up. General Xiao is actually really dope. Like, he looks good. He looks a little bit lighter than what he usually is, you know what I mean? Like, so his flow is dope. He has the axe, you know, they switched up a lot of things. He still looks like he can be literally boss overnight, you know what I mean? He looked like he can still be boss, man. That's the cool thing. Because I know a lot of people, we wouldn't want to make him puny and smaller than a lot of characters these days. So he still has that brawl essence and that confidence, but he actually looks lighter. You know, he looks like he can really hold on to some combos and fight with the best and utilize his cameo to actually adapt to his weaknesses. So that's kind of like the whole system and what they were aiming for anyway, for cameos to help us out on that. So the combat cast, they did mention it was going to be very short. That was pretty cool. And then they give us a huge Baraka versus General Xiao. And Baraka looks really fun, by the way. Baraka's in-depth gameplay looked dope. It looked cool to see them go against each other. I like how they're pushing Baraka. His strings are fresh. His air combos are really dope. He looks very fluid. He looks like somebody, like, he's gonna be an X factor for a lot of people, because he was cool. He was pretty annoying in Mortal Kombat 9. I remember that. So seeing him really get in, go in depth, it was cool to see Baraka again too. And I can't wait for people like Reptile, Baraka, you know, General Xiao getting this refresher. I want to see a lot of the bad guys get real, like get into that power sense again, those classic bad guys. I wish Motaro could have been part of that, but of course it's always good to see him as a cameo, and of course Goro and all that. But yeah, that's kind of it for the whole part. I think it was pretty dope overall though. It was a great breakdown, and it's something that we definitely need moving forward. And MK1's doing an incredible job in terms of giving back to their OG fans and giving back to just a community, and then revamping to try to mainstream everything, bringing on all these combat packs, special guests. They said that they confirmed like John Cena, J.K. Simmons for like the actual Omni-Man and Peacemaker voices. So that's gonna be so freaking cool to hear John Cena, man. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. Drop your thoughts and who you're excited for, who you like the most, who looked dope. I think Sindel looked pretty fresh. Sindel and Li Mei are gonna be a fun battle to go against. There'll be a lot of VFX everywhere. Same with Rain. Rain looks like there's gonna be a lot of VFX everywhere when you fight him, so just gotta make sure you're staying on par and really focused when you're going against him. I'm excited for it. I liked it all. I think I am excited for the Baraka though, and like Reptile. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. So hopefully we see a Jade. If not, then let us know who you think is gonna make those final roster spots. I appreciate y'all. Peace.